Hello, everybody. Welcome. Mr. ZDS here. Oof. And against my better judgment, I am starting my recording of Super Metroid for my favorite pastime. Okay. So, first of all, if you're wondering why I said against my better judgment, the reason is because I am currently under the influence of a very bad cold. I have been struggling for the last 3 or 4 days. I think it's already starting to wear off a little bit. Not too bad yet. But I finally have some time to myself, so to speak. My roommate, my brother, he is at work, so that's cool. I actually have some time to just kind of relax without having to worry about telling him, what I'm doing or anything like that. But anyway, this was the game that won the poll for the next Let's Play for the channel after Pokemon Sword is completed. Very surprised, actually, that Super Metroid, of all things, actually was the game to beat. Pokemon Emerald came very close, but in the end, Super won out, which is cool. I actually really like this game. I definitely wanted to play it for the channel for a while now. I have not done much in the way of Super Metroid content for the channel whatsoever, so it's kind of cool that you guys actually wanted to see it. Now, a couple of things I want to get out of the way, of course, is, first of all, this will not be a speed run as far as I can avoid. I'm actually going to have to, lower my voice. Dear God. Barely fucking breathe. Anyway, this will not be a speed run of any kind. There's a lot of techniques that I simply cannot perform in this game. For example, I can't perform like the speedball glitch and stuff like that. So I don't know how to get the super missiles early. Just a kind of forewarning as we're going ahead here. Secondly, this will be a 100% run. I will be getting all of the power-ups and expansions in the game. Thirdly, there will be some sequence breaking, but again, not a lot because I don't know many of the speedrunning tactics, or rather, I've never been able to successfully perform many of them. Some, like the wall jump, I am quite adept at, but others, like again I said, the speedball is something that I simply cannot do. I lack the dexterity in my thumbs and the reaction time to perform that correctly. Now, that doesn't mean I can't do some small techniques. I mean, there was one that I did by complete fucking accident, and that was the a glitch that or a sequence break that's very minor, but it is actually something that's relevant to the first area of the game here. There is a sequence break where you can go into Morph Ball mode while going up this specific tunnel here from the underside of it. I did it by complete accident one time, like 5 years ago, and I've never been able to do it since. Also, I want to bring up a little bit of my history with this game. Since I'm, playing it for the first time for this channel, I might as well, give you guys a little bit of information about how I've experienced this title. Now, as some of you may know, Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2, by extension, were my first Metroid games. They were my introduction to the franchise and the series as a whole, excluding the use, very sparingly, mind you, that I had of Samus in Super Smash Bros. And Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now again, very minor usage, so I didn't even know what Samus as a character was, or as a thing was, to be honest, so I had next to no knowledge at all about the Metroid series up until around 2008 or 9. And as a result of that, I didn't have any sort of bias-y toward the series until I had actually played it for myself. But yeah, Metroid Prime 1 and Metroid Prime 2 were actually my first Metroid games. Metroid Prime 3 was actually the next one I played, and then Super Metroid didn't come into fruition, or didn't come into play until after that. Seemed a little bit weird to some, but I did not own a Super Nintendo. As a matter of fact, I've never owned a Super Nintendo, even to this day. I didn't have, money, something that you really need to buy games, which is money. I was living off my parents' stuff because I was still a kid at the time, so I didn't exactly know what the hell how to get anything new. But when I had heard my friend at the time talking about Super Metroid, because he had told me about the original Metroid games, because he's the one introducing to them in the first place, he had mentioned to me Super Metroid, and I had a Wii at the time, the Wii that he actually gave to me. And as a result, I wanted to check. I had found on the Wii Virtual Console that Super Metroid is actually a thing. So I managed to convince my mom to spend like 800 Wii points or something like that to get me a copy of Super Metroid on the eShop or on the digital Virtual Console. So that was my first exposure to Super Metroid, and just like with the original Metroid Prime and the Metroid Prime 2, I absolutely tanked at the game. And to this day, I'm still not great at it. I will not claim to be an expert at this game. Granted, yes, I can beat it all the way through without dying and all that stuff, and I do know some sequence-breaking tricks and whatnot, but for the most part, I am very much an amateur when it comes to playing this game compared to some of the people in the speedrunning community, how they can play it. But yeah, when I first played the game, I didn't really know what to think, because much like with my first exposure to Pokemon Red and Blue, or Pokemon Gold and Silver, when it came to my experience with the Pokemon series, I had already played, at that time it was the Metroid Prime 1 and 2 games. I'd already played much better whoa, I didn't even realize my health was that low. I've already played much better looking and playing Metroid games, with both being Prime 1 and 2 at the time, so I was not really a graphics whore so much at the time, but I was definitely not used to the two-dimensional polygon sprites of the Super Nintendo. Again, I've never owned one, and Super Metroid was the first Super Nintendo game I ever even saw, let alone played. So I didn't really know what to think. Going through the game, like I'm pretty sure most people have had a problem with most games that they've played, is I died a lot. I died an excessive amount of times, way more times than I've ever died since then. But overall, I liked my experience of Super Metroid enough to definitely give it the thumbs up as a good game. However, and this is a very contentious opinion for many, I do not believe whatsoever that Super Metroid is the best Metroid game. Is it a great game? Absolutely. Is it the best Metroid game to me? No. I will never denounce its quality, because it is a really amazing game. You guys if you haven't heard of Super Metroid, then you have never been a fan of Nintendo, or at least you were probably too young to have even had a sibling that is of the age of this game. But I must say it this way. Super Metroid came out 2 months after I was born. It came out in August of 1994. I was born in June of 1994. So, this game is over 25 years old. That does not denounce its quality, again, but it is not the best game ever made. I mean, I will wholeheartedly disagree with that till the day my head explodes. But that's basically all I'm going to say, negative about the game, because everything else I have to say about the game, for the most part, is very positive. I will definitely enjoy my time in this game. I will say that compared to Prime and Prime 2, it is a much darker Metroid game, honestly. Prime had a lot of more open areas, and I think a lot of it was more due to the sound chip limitations of the Super Nintendo versus the GameCube's optical disc format. But a lot of the audio sounds very muffled. Not that that's a bad thing. It actually contributes very well to the atmosphere I was mentioning a second ago. Super Metroid wants you to feel isolated. It wants you to feel a little uncomfortable, at least as far as I can get. It doesn't want you to feel like you're welcomed into this alien world that you know nothing about. You know, it's a world that is filled with strange creatures and unknown bioforms and strange plant life and different, it's supposed to be a rather dark kind of setting. So I think that the audio and the visuals really complement that person. Now, I'm no game reviewer, mind you, but, you know, those are just kind of some generic aesthetic thoughts that I have about the game. And again, I'm not very good at the fucking wall jump. I'm not bad at it, but I'm also... this game was not designed to be played with a joystick. It was designed to be played... or a control stick, rather. It was designed to be played with a D-pad. And I'm using an emulator, by the way. I'm actually not recording this off of my Switch. I do have it on my Switch, but I decided to record it off my emulator simply because it's easier. I mean, honestly, it's a lot easier to record my audio overlaid on the video with my Bandicam than it is to record it with my Elgato HD60. Whew. Also, my eyes are burning like a motherfucker. I have to have the fan on because I'm like overheating as hell right now. But yeah. Whew. Those are just kind of a few generic opinions on the game. I will be kind of... This is going to be a little bit different than most of my videos I've done. Like, well, I know you guys... Most of you guys don't even know about my old Let's Play channel, but I'd already done 4 complete Let's Plays before I retired it and switched the Let's Play content back to the main channel here. But in those Let's Plays that were primarily Pokemon-based, I was not quite as paying attention to aesthetic as much as I will be with Metroid, with Super Metroid in particular. Super Metroid, to me, is a game that... It is about the isolation, it is about the atmosphere. It is not, I mean, it is a fun game. I mean, I will say that until well, again, my head explodes. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself right now, guys. I have not recorded anything for, like... Oh, God. Since I finished Pokemon Sword. And that was like the 20th of November, and it's the fucking 16th of December right now, so I will not be on my game right now. Plus, I'm sick, and you know, that kind of doesn't make things better for me. I will try to keep these videos a little bit shorter than the Pokemon Sword videos, but more or less around 25 minutes. And in this game in particular, I can get a lot more done in 25 minutes than I can in a Pokemon game. That also just kind of goes with how it is with most Metroid games. I could probably beat the game in a little over 3 hours, 100%. I know the standard time is like 8 hours. Speedrun time can be as little as 20 minutes, for God's sake. Oh, and also the speed up function is primarily the reason why I will be using the emulator, because some of the scenes... it is an NES game. It is not a very speedy game, and I'm much too spoiled to not have some semblance of speed. I will be primarily just going through the motions here. I will also try to give some, from what I do understand from certain speedrunning tactics, and the speedrunning tactics that I actually do know, or should I say sequence breaking tactics that I do know, I will try to give as good an explanation as I can on how to perform some of these techniques. Like, for example, one thing I haven't even touched on is how to do the actual, how to actually do the wall jump. And to put it simply, you run up to a wall, and then you press the A button, and then yank the control stick or the D-pad in the opposite direction as you're hitting the A button. To do this repeatedly to bounce off the same wall, you need to snap the control stick back to the other direction that you jumped towards, and you can get stuff like this, which this missile expansion, typically, if you don't know how to do the wall jump, is only obtainable after you've gotten the grapple beam, which is much later in the game. But that's, like, it's hard to explain, like, without being visually shown. I know for me that it took a lot of trial and error. Similarly with the method to get the space jump boots early in Metroid Prime 1. Those were also something that I had to have a little bit of more hands-on experience with doing it myself without... I actually remember, like 5, 6, maybe, actually no, more like, oh God, what was it, like 8 years ago? 7, 8 years ago? When I first tried YouTube when I was still in high school. Oh God, high school me. Jesus. But anyway, when I was still in high school, when I tried my first YouTube channel, and it didn't work for obvious reasons, but I had actually told like a bunch of people on YouTube, like just blatantly, like, see, I'm doing it exactly the way that they're telling me to do it in the video, but you can't get the space jump boost early in Metroid Prime. You just can't do it. And now I do it every fucking time I play Metroid Prime. So kind of a dimwit moment on my part. Expect me to get hit a lot, by the way. I'm not very good at dodging, and with the addition of the run button in Metroid Prime, or Super Metroid rather, I do have issues with the actual running because of that. It's a little unorthodox for me personally. I know a lot of games tend to have run buttons, but for me, it's never been a staple of video games that I played when I was a kid. Because again, like, my first system was an N64, and the N64 didn't exactly have run buttons in any of the games that I played, especially not the platformers. I mean, in the case of, like, Super Mario 64, you just tilted into your run. Yeah, this fucker is annoying. I don't like the Spore Spawn. It is very irritating. Come on. It is technically the first boss, but it's not even really a boss. It's more like a waiting game. Another reason why I'm using the emulator. You can usually get 2 missiles shot off at it before it closes its whatever the hell that is, like a clamshell looking thing? I don't know. Come on, come on, open your mouth. Ah, fuck. I only got one that time because I didn't stand up fast enough. Come on, come on. Damn it. I got one again. This is always why I get a lot of the missile expansions as soon as I can. I don't do a lot of backtracking in this game because a lot of stuff you can just get on the normal pathway. I almost had that. Come on, just open up already. There we go. Alright. So, probably the worst boss in the Metroid series. Oh, see? That's the fucking... Oh, I hate doing that. It's, that trick right there. I can't even do it on the fly. I can only fucking do it by accident. It's being able to turn into Morph Ball mode while you're still in the air. It's the trick that's used to get out of that tunnel that I mentioned earlier faster. It's also essential to the Speedball trick, which allows you to get the Super Missile expansion early. Not this one in particular, but a different one. Expect me to flip-flop a lot between the weapons. Again, I'm very clumsy in this game. I'm more used to Metroid Prime where I can be more, reckless, I guess? So, Super Metroid, I'm not really used to that. Even now, after playing the game for close to 9 years, I'm still not very good at the more precautionary standpoint of Super Metroid as I am opposed to Metroid Prime. Alrighty. So now we gotta head down into the lower part. And another one of the sequence breaks you can do is actually gonna be right here. You can just wall jump up here, go in this tunnel, grab a missile expansion. I think the way it wants you to normally do it is to wait until you get the Spring Ball, which is the last power-up you receive, and Spring Ball from this ledge up to that hole, but there's literally... Why would you do that? Just why would you do that? Oh my god, my eyes are burning! Alright, let's see if I can't squeeze out 2 boss battles in the same video. Alright. I'm also going to show the my preferred method on getting to grade, which I did show this in an individual video on the channel. So you guys can check that out if you guys are interested, or you can just continue watching this video. Either way, I'm fine with it. Down. You'll notice that I'm also not opening up a lot of the alternate pathways that I can come across right away. The main reason is because I don't need to. Like the pathway that was to the left of this with the Super Missile door, that's just a way to refill your energy, and you don't need to do that. I don't really fill up or go to the energy recharge stations most of the time, because I very rarely find myself losing a lot of energy in this game. Hold on. gets up there. This is a nice little trick, too. You can actually, I remember myself missing this when I first played the game, but you can get the Spazer beam up here, which allows you to fire 3 shots at once instead of 1. A very convenient ability that you can use to hit lower targets without having to duck down. I feel like explaining some of the fucking methods of playing this game is almost like redundant because, like, oh crap, I always do that every time. Because, like, I don't know anybody who hasn't heard. Okay, no, correction, actually. I don't actually know anybody who has heard of Super Metroid until I told them, but either way, make note of this pipe. It is important later. Let's go. Alright. So this is personally my favorite method to get to Kraid early. Now, there's other ways to do it, but this is the way I like to do it. All 3 of these blocks are super missile blocks. You blow each of them up, you have a free pathway. And you can... Oh, see again with the fucking trick, I swear to God. Now, normally you would have to go down to Norfair, get the high jump boots, and jump up there to actually get to Kraid. But... Did I say Ridley a minute ago? I feel like I said Ridley a minute. But if you time your jump right... And again, I'm using a Switch controller, so this is a little more finicky. I've never really been good at this trick anyway, but I can always get it done. Just takes a couple tries. Okay. Winning shot? Nope. You can also try bomb jumping, but I've never been good at bomb jumping in Super Metroid. As a matter of fact, I've never been able to pull it off more than 2 bombs. I just can't get the timing right. Now, Zero Mission and AM2R, on the other hand, that I can get right just fine. But Super Infusion, no. Ah! I was trying to jump off the lip of it. Alright. Nope. It's like I have to undershoot the jump a bit. Okay, this is actually more annoying than it normally is. Or I could just, run off the edge like a dunce. There we go. Only takes a couple 30 tries, it's no big deal. But this is the preferred way I have to fight against Kraid, because I don't like going all the way down to Norfair just to get the Varia, just to get the high jump boots, and then come all the way back up here, then go all the way back down. Kind of dumb. I need to get my fucking missiles back, though. Super missiles, please, not regular ones. Although regular ones can help, I need supers, thank you. Oh, and now I need fucking energy, good god. Alright, it's this one. Just take a look at, like, all the foliage that's, like, rotted in here and all the twisted and broken metal. Really cool. And then down here you have, like, just, space pirates guarding Kraid's lair. I don't quite know what's up with that, though. Come on, come on. Die. Thank you. Okay. That got my super missiles back, but I'm still half dead. I don't want to do it that way. I think this is an energy one, or it's a save room, one of the two. Probably a save room, because I'm unlucky like that. Oh no, it's both. It's missiles and energy. Okay, cool. Now this does not refill your super missiles, as far as I'm aware. Nope, just your regular missiles, so... The only way to refill your super missiles and power bombs in this game is to either go to your ship and heal, or get the power bomb in super missile ammo manually. Oh, hold on, I got itch my nose. Ow! Again, I'm not good at the precision here. Come on. Back. Yeah, let's go. I figure after this we'll call it a video. Super Metroid's not a terribly long game. The beginning is a little bit slow, though. I mean, it's taken me 25 minutes to get from the beginning of the game to Kraid. That's with fast forwarding. Alright. Damn it. Ah. Ah, shit. Oh, crap, 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 crap. This is not good. Okay, thank God. I thought I was gonna die just now. I didn't go to a save room once so far. Oh, God. It does make it trickier, doesn't it? Alright, well, thankfully I got the Varia suit. There's nothing that's really gonna try to kill me until I get to the next boss, which I think is Crocodile. Unless there's something else I'm missing. Once you get the Varia suit, a lot of the game, like, seriously opens up, because the Varia suit is pretty much essential to explore, like, 2/3, if not 3/4 of the damn game. Okay. Ugh. You go away, 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 you go away. Let's just fucking blaze like a trail through these goddamn Zebazubians. I know what they're called, I'm just calling them something stupid because I can. Alright. Alrighty. Now let me get the hell out of most of this area here. Get a fucking energy tank up in this room. Also gonna kill some freaking bug thingies. I hate those things so much. And energy tank right up there. Now I don't even know where the nearest save room is. I think it's in where I'm at now, but I really don't want to save here. I'd have to backtrack, so let's just, I guess, track the other direction. There's actually plot regression. I'm pretty sure Norfair has a save room pretty close. Alright, and down we go. Okay. Where is it? That's a power bomb door. That's not what I want. That's a missile door. What's in here? Oh, okay, so this is the high jump boost. We can get this real quick. I can also get up here and get this missile expansion without going the other direction. You can see how bad I am at the bomb jump. I don't even know what the fucking rhythm is supposed to be for this. Anyway, missile. Yeah. And we'll get the high jump boost while we're at it. That is especially essential for getting through pretty much everything else. Okay. Now you kind of actually need to kill that thing for some reason to open the door, but whatever. I don't exactly know why they make you do that, but they do. Alright, now where the hell's the save room? I think it's to my right somewhere up here? I don't know. Come on. Platform, stupid. Also, fuck knockback, and thank you for having most games not have knockback anymore. Okay, where the fuck is the... God, son of a cuck. Alright. Well, that's actually the way I have to progress. I might as well make this a little bit longer at this point, because I can't remember where the fucking save room is. I'm probably a fucking idiot, and I passed right by it, but whatever. I haven't played Super Metroid in a little while, okay? Probably a few months, actually, at this point. Usually I would do, unless it's a new game, I would do a practice run of the Let's Play first, but... Well, I guess that's not really an option with some of the longer games that I try to do. I mean, you can't really do a practice run with Pokemon, for example. Got a missile expansion down here, and I want to grab it. That's another one of those ones they probably expect you to wait to get, like, this gravity suit or something for, but if you're willing to you know, bear the liquid lava or whatever. I was trying to say something better than that, but that's what came out of my face hole. Brave the liquid hot magma, or the molten hot, whatever. Who cares? If you're willing to brave the elements, fucking knock back, fuck you. And these stupid tiny platforms and this very imprecise jump. This is actually one of the reasons I don't find myself coming back to Super as much as I do the 3D games. Especially Prime 1 and 2. I can go back to Prime 1 and 2 any day of the week and play it any time I want. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think there is a way that I can get up there from here. Haha! Oh, I am a genius. This is the pathway to the speed booster. And normally they want you to take a real roundabout way to get here. And that's actually a first for me. That is the first time I've ever done that trick. So that's cool. Alright, let me grab some health. And a little bit of ammunition. Alright, there we go. That'll be fine. Make sure to hold down the speed button when you're going through here, because otherwise you gotta fucking, like... I don't know. Just don't fuck up. Just keep going. Oh, and before you leave, don't forget. Get up here, grab a missile. Yay, more missiles. Okay, so that's actually pretty fucking cool. That's literally the first time I've ever done it this way. So that's awesome. I saw it on a YouTube video a while ago, and I actually fucking forgot that I knew that. Usually I would have to get the wave beam before I got the speed booster, but here we go. Alright, now let's get the hell out of here. Speed it up. And out we go. I love that part. Alright. Yeah, I made this one a little bit long, but that's fine. I got 2 speedrun tactics in one video, so not bad, not bad. This actually may potentially be one of my fastest runs if I can keep doing this stuff. Oh shit. Why'd I do that? Oh well. Alright, well that's gonna actually go ahead and do it for this video. I've actually been at this for half an hour. Jesus Christ. Anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to support the channel, leave my Twitter and Patreon in the description down below for more videos. You know what? Fuck it. Just tune in for the next video. I'm not gonna keep advertising my Patreon. Nobody looks at it anyway. But anyway, hope to see you guys in my next video. ZDS. I hope bye. Have a good night, everybody.